everyone, it's Carolyn here to share another message. This time I'm going to share with you a video that I did some months ago because people were asking about how to start trusting your intuition, your inner voice, hearing your spirit guides. And I decided that I would do a video on my pendulum. So stick with me because your pendulum is a great, okay, they just said training wheels. Okay, like training wheels to be able to start trusting yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this video with you that was actually used for my email list group. But I have recently been asked a lot of questions about this, and I thought, you know what, everybody just needs this video. So I'm resurrecting it from a few months ago, and you're going to get to see it now. And I hope you can use it in your journey, particularly as we move into 2020, when we start kind of thinking about, you know, what are some of the things we want to do that are new? You know, we want to refresh ourselves, we want to keep learning. So those of you who are, and plus there's a lot of other ways you can use your pendulum too. And one thing I do want to mention, because I don't know if this video touches on this, is that the pendulum itself is a consciousness. Keep that in mind. You will be amazed as you start forming that relationship with that pendulum. And again, not getting dependent on it, and the video talks all about this. But anyway, what it can do for you. I've actually started having conversations with it, and you may think that sounds really wild, but it's the truth. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this video today. And for those of you who are new, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Carolyn. I'm a distance energy healer. I'm a channel, and I'm a spiritual awakening mentor. And typically what I'll do in a lot of my videos is I share channels from the Light Keepers, a group of angelic beings who I channel for your awakening journey. And then sometimes I'll come in and I'll just start talking about topics that I think are important and that I've actually been guided to talk about. And what will happen in those channels is that I will also start channeling during those as well. So I hope you enjoy this message today and it assists you on your journey forward as you start to, or even try to enhance your intuitive gifts. So I'm going to let you watch this video and then it's going to end from there. But again, I want to remind you of my services, purplerainhealing.com. So check them out if you're thinking of possibly wanting to work with me in either distance energy healing, channeled messages, or spiritual awakening mentoring. So again, thank you for being here and enjoy the video. Hi everyone, it's Carolyn here to share another video for the weekly email. So I got thinking I would share something that I think will assist you in trusting your own intuitive gifts, trusting your own voice, trusting your own higher self, and practicing with it. So today I'm going to introduce you to, and many of you know about pendulums, okay? This is mine. It's a lovely beechwood pendulum that I bought very early on in my awakening journey. And then guess what? I set it aside. I never used it. I think I used it once for what I thought the intended purpose was, which was a class I was taking online, and then to be able to assess your chakras. For whatever reason, I thought that's all you could use it for. And then I got creative. Now, fast forward to just a few months ago, where I decided to start using it. But I don't use it in my work. Now, those of you who know my journey know that my intuitive gifts just blasted open like a plugged up fountain for all these years after my dark night of the soul. So it was not a gradual process. It was a blasting forth of all of this. Suddenly I was hearing, seeing, knowing everything, but not everybody's that way. So I want to give you a way to be able to explore your own knowings and your own higher self, speaking to your own inner intelligence that we all have. Mine just appeared differently, and some others are, and this might be you, more gradual. So stick with me on this because, first of all, you're going to need a pendulum. Now, I have the beechwood one, which I really like. Now, I don't know much about pendulums. I don't know if there's a difference. You can probably just go buy any pendulum you want, but it needs to be an official pendulum, right? But then what you're going to do is you'll follow the instructions, because typically, I think you'll get instructions. Mine had instructions, but I will tell you what you need to do. So you have to, first of all, clear it. All right, so, and I'll just show you this now. All right, it's real simple, even if yours doesn't come with instructions. And then what you're going to do, you're going to program it for yourself. Now, mine's already programmed, so I'm not going to go through that. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to clear your pendulum. And if you watch my hand here, I'm hoping you can see the whole thing. Yeah, it looks like you can. Okay, you can see I'm not moving my hand. I'm going to say, okay, pendulum, and I call it Sweet Pea. I know that's funny. Clear yourself, please. Oh, see, it already knows what I want it to do. So what will happen is your pendulum, if it needs to clear itself, will start going typically in a, a clockwise, or excuse me, counterclockwise direction. All right. Now, I don't use mine much, and I'm not around other people much. I'm just at my home. So this little guy, is not going to have a lot to clear. All right. Now, sometimes what I'll do, well, as you can tell, it just reacted immediately. Again, this is all energetic. And I will tell you right now, sometimes before you even get statements out of your mouth, it's responding. It's fascinating because it's about thought. Energetic thought is still, speaking out loud in many cases. All right, so I'm going to stop this here. But anyway, needless to say, that's what you'll do. You'll clear it and you'll program it for yourself. So again, like I said, I don't use it much, but what I've started to use it for is for personal stuff, which is kind of funny. And it's kind of some of the goofiest things. Like I post on Facebook these little poems and channels. I have the worst time picking my art because I'm so picky about it. And I'll have a couple of different ones I'm trying to decide on. I'll use my pendulum to say, for this post, I should use the one with the sailboat in it. And then it'll either answer me yes or no. So what I'm going to show you here, well, let's just go ahead and use that as our example because I actually have a post right now where I'm considering a sailboat. All right. So my statement, which is typically an answer with respect to true or false, all right, that's how mine works, that's how it's programmed. I will then say, the best picture to use for my Facebook post I'm working on is the one with the sailboat. Now remember, I'm thinking about two, so it's going to, oh, nope, doesn't like that one. So it's the other one. Now you could argue that I should just be able to answer that, but the thing is, that's just not the way it works for me. So some of these goofy little things I ask about, all right? So the way that you can use this, so this is how they work, all right? So then if it would have liked and said that the best picture is the one with the sailboat, it would have gone in a clockwise direction, all right? So this is going counterclockwise, and it's like, typically what will happen is I'll know in my gut that that's not the one I really wanted or that would work best. And then invariably I get the answer. So that's where I'm leading you to today. So when you get your pendulum, let's say you feel like you don't have an intuitive bone in your body. You don't have any knowings. You don't have any, this will help you get to that point where you know you do. So what I would suggest you do is you give yourself 3 statements, all right, that you're going to test yourself with. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get your statement ready and then just say it out loud. That seems to be the best way to practice this. All right, so you say it out loud. What is your first instinct of answer? Don't think about it. Don't do anything analytical. Make your statement. So let's give you an example. So I'm just going to make a goofy one up. So I play a lot of tennis. So I am going to compare between 2 tennis players that are friends of mine and decide which one's best to play with on a regular basis for me, because right now I don't really know. And yet I think I know, but again, I'm not getting any response from myself, or at least I don't think I am, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say to myself, it's a true statement that Mark is the best tennis player for me to play with consistently. Because of course I only have so much time, so I need to choose, right? So that when I ask that question to myself, what's my first instinct of knowing? Yes or no? Yes or no? And you don't think about it, you don't analyze it, just what's in your inside. And you say it, yes. Just say it right away. No. Say it right away. You're going to practice with a variety of statements. So then what you're going to do, okay, you're then going to cross-check your intuitive knowing. And you're going to ask the pendulum the same thing. So as I told you, mine's name is Sweet Pea. And I will say to, and I'm trying to get you to see my hand too, so you know I'm not moving this. even though it's really hard to keep it held still in either direction. But anyway, here we go. So then I'm going to say, it is a true statement that Mark is the best person for me to play tennis on a regular basis. Yes. See how this is coming? Now, what you're going to get, okay, this is not getting too excited about this, but it's yes, all right? Now, sometimes what you're going to get is these wild swings, where these wild swings are literally, I'll just make this happen. Okay, I will get them where they're like this. Okay, now I'm moving my hand right now. This would not normally happen, but I'm trying to make this happen for you. And so that's a real emphasis on, that is correct. And they're excited about it, all right? So I hope I'm showing you this properly. But again, what you're going to do is you're going to set yourself up with a few questions. Minor true false statements like, Mark is the best person for me to play tennis with on a regular basis. That's a yes, no. And then what you'll get is your response. But that's after you've already tested yourself. So here we go again. It's saying yes, which is what I thought anyway. All right, because we play regularly, but the other person has a little bit of different skill set for me. But I was still thinking, no, I need to play with him. Well, guess what? Yes, confirmation. So remember, the most important thing you can do is when you're doing this little practice, and it will be so helpful because it's a confidence builder. And if you don't get them right all the time, that just means you're probably overanalyzing, and keep practicing. So make up some statements for yourself, and you can write these down. But the minute you write them down, get your answer, all right? You can write these down. Do a bunch if you want. Make the statement, yes, no, typically, which is, like I said, my pendulum is programmed that way. And then get your answer right away, yes, no. What did you offer up? Not thinking, not analyzing, not doing that human thing we do of like, well, let me think about this for a second. No. You're going to give your instantaneous response. Don't even think. What just comes flying out of your mouth. Write it down. You can do a bunch of these all at once. Then you're going to get your pendulum and you're going to go through each one of these and you're going to see what they say. Oh my gosh. I think you're going to find this as a powerful first step into moving forward into trusting your own inner knowing, because we all have this. It's just the level of confidence we have, the level of kind of belief and faith, the lack of fear, because a lot of that blocks us. And I have to tell you, I was blasted open and wide awake, but I don't have any fear. I have a ton of self-confidence. I just know it is, and I know my higher self is speaking to me. So consequently, I just kind of move forward. But we're not all that way. We have to kind of gradually get there. So this is a great opportunity, a really simple way for you to practice. So go get yourself a pendulum or get your pendulum out that you haven't used before. Here's another thing I do, and this may sound funny too, but a lot of you know that everything is consciousness. Everything that is created has consciousness built into it. Yes, you can talk to your pendulum and you treat it like a friend. I talk to it like a friend. Like I'll sit there and I'll say, okay, P, do you need to clear yourself, or how are you today? And so I just kind of talk to it so I can kind of get to know it, kind of friendly, kind of fun. And then it'll just decide for itself if it needs to. And so it's telling me, no, don't need to clear. Don't need to clear. It's because it's already has done that, all right? But anyway, point is get to know your pendulum and treat it like a friend. And again, I use it for kind of goofy personal stuff like I just gave you, which was the most ridiculous thing, choosing between two pieces of art for a Facebook post, right? But you can use it for more important things too. But remember, use your own inner knowing first. And then pretty soon, you're going to put this pendulum away. Because the idea is you do not get stuck on it for your inner knowing. Because I actually have a friend who was using it so regularly that guess what? Pendulum went bye-bye. She couldn't find it one day. And as far as I know now, months have gone by, she's never found it. It just evaporated. And we know magical things can happen. You never want to rely on the pendulum. This is like training wheels. This is a way to get you into that state of, I do know. I do know. I know. And then this will start guiding you forward into greater experiences. Now, I want to cover just a couple things you can do with a pendulum. And again, you may know this. You can, and this, whatever reason, is a new knowing for me within the last couple of months. Did you know you can clear your energies this way? Your own energies. So what I always do is I clear my pendulum first, just like I did earlier, all right? And then I say to my pendulum, can you see this? Yes, you can. I say to my pendulum, okay, will you please clear my energy space? Meaning my bodily energy space. So it'll go counterclockwise, unless for some reason you have your setup differently, but this is, from what I know, typically always the way they work. Now some pendulums do move, I believe it's back and forth, okay? Mine goes in circles, whether it be clockwise or counterclockwise, all right? And anyway, so what's happening here is I am getting personally cleared of my energies. And I would keep doing, I apparently need to be cleared. I kind of forget to do this, so this is why it's lasting longer. But sometimes when you have never cleared yourself, oh my, it'll take forever. But anyway, I'm going to stop this. But you can go into different rooms of your house as well. I did this recently at my mom's. Her house has never been cleared, never been saged, nothing. And oh, well, we've lived in it. I mean, I grew up in it, so you know how old I am. Anyway, never cleared. And so the spaces that I went into was fascinating, were the spaces where a lot of energetic activity would typically take place. For example, the living room. She's got 2 living rooms, but one where we mostly hang out, where most people would show up, was more powerfully connected with a lot of energy. So it took forever to clear. So I went to every room. Also, this was fascinating. The hallway where people that are visiting, anybody that's ever visited the house walks in and stands, whether they come in and stay or not. Oh, that was powerful. The hallway lasted forever because, again, it's an energetic space. It's a doorway, all right? So you can clear your home this way. Now, yeah, you can sage and do all those cool things too. There's lots of ways you can clear yourself. But I thought it was really cool to use your pendulum for that. And again, I feel it helps with an energetic bond with your pendulum. So you can go to each house, or excuse me, each room of your house, and you can clear it. You can clear your car, whatever. So I think you're going to find this to be a great little tool to launch you forward, particularly if you have never, if you just feel like you don't have an intuitive gift for the life of you. Yeah, you do. This is a great way to get yourself started. So that's really all I have to share with you today. I hope you have enjoyed it. And for those of you who knew all this stuff already, hopefully it's a refresher for you. Go get your pendulum again. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week.